Welcome. We are so glad to have you at tonight's performance of A Christmas Carol. I'm Rachel Westra, and this is Ryan Vandenheuvel, and we are teachers and directors of this production.
One special thanks that did not make it into the program for tonight was thanking Master Arts Theater for the loaning of their costumes. It wasn't we didn't forget, it's just that they came in at the very last minute, our own very Christmas miracle. We are delighted to welcome each of you tonight to the live performance of A Christmas Carol. After a year and a half of the pandemic's uncertainties, we're grateful to share this transformative story of hope, of forgiveness. In spite of its familiarity, we believe that A Christmas Carol is perfect drama for such a time as this. In cultural and political discord over the last year, we've had many reminders that, like Scrooge, we too are broken, crookedly turned inward, and oblivious to the needs of those around us. Although it is a fictional narrative, A Christmas Carol reflects the reality of God's grand story. And through the intervention of the Spirit, Scrooge's heart is transformed with second chances to live life in joyful gratitude for what he's been given. Now, this production is also an offering of gratitude to our loving Savior, storyteller, Jesus Christ. May tonight's performance give you comfort and joy and remind you of the transforming work God is doing in our own hearts through his Spirit. Enjoy the show.
Join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, great storyteller, thank you for including us in your grand narrative. And thank you for all the people who are involved in this production. The actors, the performers, the tech crew, the set and sound and lights, the costumers. It takes a lot of people to do this well, Lord, but you give us an opportunity to work in community. Thank you for this community, and this community that's also represented in this audience. Help this audience to enjoy the performance tonight, calm the nerves of the performers, and help this to be an offering to you, Lord. You give us the abilities, you give us the opportunity, and we thank you for that this time, in this year. Lord, Scrooge's story is like our own, and help it to penetrate our hearts and remind us of where we need to change, like Scrooge did. Lord, thank you for tonight. Thank you that we're all safely here in spite of a little snow. And thank you for a little snow, because it reminds us of A Christmas Carol. Bless the performers, bless the audience. Thank you again for tonight, and may we honor you in our offering. In your name we pray, amen. Enjoy the show.
Good evening. Tonight I shall be reading what has proved to be one of Charles Dickens' most popular tales. It was published for his Christmas book in the year 1844, A Christmas Carol, Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am about to relate. There was no doubt whatsoever about Marley. The register of his burial was signed by the clerk, the clergyman, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course he did. He and Scrooge were partners for years. Scrooge was his sole executor, sole administrator, sole friend, and sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event that he was an excellent man of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it by concluding a favorable business contract. Scrooge never painted out Old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterward, above the door. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge Scrooge, and sometimes Marley, but he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. On the very day in question, of all the good days in the year, on a Christmas Eve, It was cold, bleak, biting weather. The fog came pouring in at every chink and keyhole. It was late, and candles appeared in the windows of offices, like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown air.
Keep your distance! Keep your distance!
Ow! Behave yourselves!
I've no money for homeless beggars.
He's a heartless old sinner, ain't he?
Aye, he's a cold in that, Mr. Scrooge. Ever notice how the ice nymph freezes up his features? He chills his office in the dog days and don't thaw so much as 1 degree at Christmas. Cold as a glacier, that's him.
Log, sir. You want another log? I saw one left in the grate. That's quite enough. Be gone.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Fred.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah! Humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that.
I do. What right do you have to be merry? What reason? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Bah! Humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world of fools? What's Christmas time to you but a time for buying presents without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? A time for having every item for 12 months written in red ink? Why, if I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly at his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew. Keep your Christmas in your way and permit me to keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Permit me to leave it alone, then. Much good Christmas has ever done you.
There are many good things from which I haven't profited, I dare say. Christmas is among the best. I've always thought of Christmas, apart from its sacred name and origin, if anything belonging to it can be apart from that. I've always thought of it, I say, as a good time. A kind, forgiving, pleasant, charitable time. The only time I know when men and women seem to open their shut-up hearts freely and speak to each other as fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on separate journeys. So therefore, Uncle, though it has never put gold or silver in my pockets, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good. And for the sake of Christmas, and my mother, I say God bless it.
Let me hear another sound from you and you'll keep Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come dine with us tomorrow.
Sir, I will see you. Get this clear. I will see you in hell first.
But why? We have never had any quarrel to which I've been a party.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm sorry to find you feeling this way, but I made this effort in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. Look at Cratchit. A clerk earning 15 shillings a week, with the burden of a wife and family in Camden Town. And he speaks of Merry Christmas. He should be locked up in a mental hospital.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. 7 years ago this very night.
Oh, we have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
Liberality.
Our credentials, sir. At this season of the year, it's desirable we make some provision for the poor and destitute. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries, hundreds of thousands in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Oh, plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses? Are they still in operation?
Very busy, sir.
I am very glad to hear it. From what you said at first, I was afraid something had stopped them in their useful course.
But they hardly furnish Christian cheer of mind and body to the multitude, Mr. Scrooge. That is why a few of us endeavor to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth.
What shall we put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. I don't have time to make idle people merry. I help support the prisons and the workhouses. They cost enough.
Many can't go there. Many would rather die.
If they would rather die, let them. It would decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon. Get away! Go! What a foul night. That time, is it? To the minute. Very well. Well, close up. I suppose you'll want all day tomorrow?
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It isn't convenient, and it isn't fair. If I was to hold back half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you? And yet, Mr. Cratchit, you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
Sir, it only occurs once a year.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket. I suppose you must have the whole day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And have a very
Be here all the earlier next morning.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Surplus population. I've never seen such evil fog. Let them try to keep Christmas in this weather.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern. And having read all the newspapers and beguiled himself with the numbers in his bank account book, he went home to his gloomy suite of rooms in his gloomy building. Darkness is cheap. Scrooge liked it.
Blast. Shouldn't have ate that big meal.
Mr. Scrooge.
You again? What are you doing skulking outside my house?
Sir, it's most urgent that I may speak with you.
I gave you my answer last week, young Mr. Buckworthy. You will pay what you agreed to pay when you applied to my firm for your loan. No grace periods, no delays, no more twaddle, sir. On the day after tomorrow, payment is due.
Sir, at this particular season, there are special circumstances.
Balderdash. Christmas comes tiresomely year in and year out. Can't use that to get round me.
Oh, no, indeed, sir. It's just my wife. You see, we have discovered...
Congratulations are in order. At least I suppose they are. I am happily ignorant of such matters.
Oh, we'd be very happy, except that my wife Caroline is delicate. Even now, she requires the care of a physician, which leaves little or no time for other obligations.
No excuse! You will pay, or your little mite will weep and wail piteously because dear Papa has been locked up in Marshalsea prison, where all the debtors go. Good evening.
The fog and frost hung about the old black threshold, where there was a large door knocker. And now, let any man explain to me how this happened.
Molly? Jacob Molly? What are you doing here? How did you become my door?
Ah, what a dismal old house it was. Lost in a hidden yard, where it had so little business to be. One could imagine it had strayed there as a young house, never found its way out. Scrooge was the only one who lived in the building, all the other rooms being let as offices, black and silent at this hour.
Ah. That's shameful to be rattled by a lot of humbug from your stomach. I bolt that door. Double locked. All secure. That humbug. More of this noise. Perhaps a bowl of gruel will settle things down. Huh. More humbug. This isn't happening. I bolted that door. Come out, you! I'm ready for you. Why? Stop! Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
You're mighty particular for a ghost. Tell me.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
It's humbug. The supper again.
Why do you doubt your own senses?
Because little things stir 'em up. You aren't real. You're a bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese. Why, there's more gravy than the grave about you. Ah! Mercy, stop this dreadful apparition. Why do you torment me?
Do you or do you not believe in me?
Oh, yes, yes, I believe. But why do spirits walk the earth tonight?
It is required of every human being that the spirit within him must walk abroad his fellow men, travel far and wide. If that spirit does not do so in life, it is condemned to do so after death, doomed to witness the world and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth.
But you are chained. Why?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I put it on and wore it of my own free will. Is the design so strange to you? You wear the same chain.
Chains? Where? Where? Oh, Jacob, I don't understand. Speak comfort to me.
I have no comfort for you, Ebenezer. That comes from other regions. Nor may I tell you everything that I might. Very little more is permitted of me. I can't stay. I can't rest. I can't linger anywhere, because in life my spirit never strayed beyond our counting house. Mark me, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole. And so, many more weary journeys lie ahead for me.
7 years dead. Have you been wandering all this time?
No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse!
But why remorse? You were always a splendid businessman, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business! The common welfare was my business! The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business! I failed to learn that lesson. And this time of year I suffer most.
Christmas time?
Yes. Why did I walk among my fellow beings, my eyes turned away? I came here tonight to warn you that you have a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope I have arranged, Ebenezer.
Oh, thank you, Jacob. You're always a splendid friend. Thank you, thank you.
Tonight, you'll be haunted by 3 spirits.
Yes. I know I can always count on you for. Haunted?
Haunted.
Is that the chance and hope you're offering me?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Hear me! Without 3 visits from the spirits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the bell tolls 1.
Can't I take them all at once and get it over with?
Expect the second when the bell strikes 2. And the third when the bell tolls 3.
Jacob, don't leave. Tell me more.
Good night, Ebenezer. Save yourself, if you can.
The door is still double locked. What else can it be but humbug? What else? Oh, 12:15. 12:30. 1:45. That's it. The hour itself. Nothing. Nothing. Hello?
Hello.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
But who are you? What are you? Tell me exactly.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
And may I be so bold as to ask what business brings you here?
Your welfare.
Much obliged, but I can't help but thinking a night of unbroken sleep would be more conducive to that end.
Don't trifle with me, sir. This is a matter of salvation. Yours. Rise. Rise and walk with me.
Where?
There.
The sky? I'm immortal, I'll fall!
Touch your hand to mine. You shall be upheld.
But... Good heavens! I know this countryside. I was bred and brought up here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that on your cheek?
Nothing.
Do you remember that path?
Remember it? I could walk it blindfolded.
And that great mansion of dull red brick at the head of the path?
My school. What else? The charity school for children whose parents were too poor to care for them through the year.
Strange to have forgotten these things for so many years.
It was a large house, but one of broken fortunes. The spacious offices were little used. Their walls were damp and mossy, their windows broken, their gates decayed. Visible through many open doors were small, dreary rooms, poorly furnished.
He can't see you. He is but a shadow of things that have been.
A mighty thin shadow, I'd say.
There was a vast and chilly bareness in the place, which associated itself somehow with too much getting up by candlelight and not too much to eat. But on this particular day, the gloom of the setting could not suppress certain feelings of elation.
Merry Christmas, Felicity.
And you! Stop that! Lower your voices, or I shall give you a taste of this. You are not on holiday yet. Young Master Job, pray tell me, why are you hopping about in such a ridiculous and jocular fashion?
Ma'am, it's Christmas.
And you, Miss Pearl, the same explanation.
Indeed, ma'am.
Do you seriously believe that pious invocations of the season will fill your scrawny bellies? Or the purses of your parents, whose very incompetence put you here? Not in this life, my dears. This life or any other. Now clear the premises. Quietly, quietly. My time is valuable, young Master Scrooge. Is no one coming for you?
I don't know.
What about your father? Or is he still locked up in debtor's prison?
No, ma'am. He was let out.
Then pray tell me when he will be here to collect you.
I don't know.
Surely someone will be arriving.
Ma'am, I presume so. It's Christmas.
That word again. Master Scrooge, you're a bright young chap. Brighter than most of that lot. Let me share a secret. Christmas is merely one of a number of convenient fictions devised to keep the poor classes in a useful state of humility, docility, and productivity. It is an utter humbug, my boy. Keep that in mind and you'll prosper.
I wish. Oh, I wish. But it's too late.
Too late for what?
Last night, there was a boy at my door. I should have liked to have given him something, that's all.
Indeed. A most interesting development.
Ebenezer?
Fan!
I've come to bring you home, brother dear.
Home?
Yes, and not just for Christmas, for good and all. Father is a changed man. He has a new position, sweeping out a number of very fine commercial establishments. He's ever so much calmer and kinder. He spoke so gently to me night before last. I wasn't afraid to ask him once more if you might come home, and he said yes. He sent me in a coach to bring you. It cost a lot, but he was emphatic. You're to come home and find a situation and never come back here. But first, we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
Oh, you're wonderful. Ma'am, here's my sister Fan. I'm going home.
What a relief. Bring down Master Scrooge's box, quickly!
Dear Fan, always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
Oh, she did. You're right. I'll not gainsay it, Spirit. She was younger, yet she was always my strong anchor. She was my pole star. After our mother died, she took that role and cared for me.
She died a woman and had, as I recall, children.
One child, my nephew. Fan!
She can't hear you.
But I want to speak to her. Tell her how much she meant to me.
Too late. Your chance is long ago. We must hurry on.
Where?
To a much more pleasant and festive place. Come.
Although they had at that moment left the school behind them, they were now amid the strife and tumult of the city. It was made clear by the dressing of the shops that here too it was Christmas time. The ghost stopped by a certain warehouse door.
Do you know this place?
Know it? I was apprenticed here.
Yo-ho, Richard, Ebenezer, yo-ho, boys, where are you?
Here, sir.
Right here, Mr. Fezziwig.
Well, boys, clear away. Merry Christmas, Richard. Merry Christmas, Ebenezer. Out with the decorations. Plenty of room for dancing. Dancing tonight and tomorrow. A modest bonus for the two most best apprentices ever to cross the threshold, the Fezziwig and Company.
Thank you.
It's nothing, boys. It's Christmas. Clear away now. You want to dance, don't you? Ebenezer, your fiance's coming. Is she not?
Belle will be here any minute, sir.
Then what's the last phase? At this year, it isn't suitable.
It's just that I am very much concerned about my sister, Fan. Her husband, Tom, is a good sort, but not very successful. My sister is frail. She carries her fair share of the burdens for the family, just as she did when we were small.
Don't worry, small boy. I mean, it's hard times for your sister, but you yourself has said that Fan is a solid person. She will manage. I'm confident of that.
Yes, sir.
All right then, clear away, clear away!
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig alive again.
Miss Fezziwig and Miss Fezziwig, that's how he makes me proud, but where are your suitors?
There, Papa. There, Papa.
Welcome to you all! Mrs., are you not the best cook ever to grace a Fezziwig household?
I am, and here's the cold roast and cold boiled to prove it.
Oh, I can't believe it. Miss Belle.
The girl you were meant to marry.
Yes. We were betrothed to each other by our parents when we were no more than 16. It was not long before I loved her. Oh, how I loved her.
Music for our young lovers! Oh, our young lovers!
A Merry Christmas, my darling.
Yes, it is, isn't it? The best ever.
And with mistletoe.
Was there ever such a good man as Mr. Fezziwig?
Not in this world, or any other that I can imagine.
Then here's to Fezziwig, the best of men.
What a small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Yes, don't you think so? Fezziwig spent but a few pounds for this party. 4, perhaps 5. Is that so much that he deserves such praise?
Oh, you've got it wrong, Spirit. It isn't the amount. He had the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make my work or that of Richard Wilkins life or burdensome. His power lay in looks and words, things so slight and insignificant that it's impossible to add and count them up. I remember that party. The happiness he gave us was quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
Come back.
But I must speak to Fezziwig and Richard and Belle.
No, my time grows short. This way.
Spirits, I beg you!
This way.
Ebenezer.
I came the moment I received your message. How is Fan?
She
What is it? How's my sister?
delivered a handsome son.
Oh, Fan.
The doctor is with her now. He has done all that he can. They'd already decided to name the boy Fred.
Fred? I warned her that the ordeal might be too much.
I know. But they both wanted a child so badly.
Was she in pain?
Yes, Ebenezer. It grieves me to tell you she was.
I remember, Spirit. How I remember.
And then everything began to change.
Belle, my dearest.
Please don't call me that. You received my note?
I did. Terrible news.
There was no other way to tell you but forthrightly.
I don't understand your decision to break our engagement.
That is why I asked you to meet me here at 6:30 o'clock.
I'm so sorry to be late. I had to confer with the solicitors about the new leases and contracts. They will make me a huge sum.
You see, you do understand my note after all.
No. Could anyone idolize you more than I?
Another idol has displaced me, and if it can't cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to, that is the way of the world.
What are you talking about? What idol has displaced you?
A golden idol.
Belle, be reasonable. I'm only trying to deal with the world on its own terms. There's nothing the world professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth. That is which it is so hard on is poverty.
You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. All your other hopes have disappeared, leaving one. The hope that the world will never scorn you for being poor.
Belle...
It's true. I've seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until one master passion engrosses you: gain.
What of it? Even if I have grown wiser, I haven't changed towards you, Belle. Have I?
When our parents made the marriage contract long ago, you and I were poor but content to be. We knew that hard work would improve our situation modestly as years passed. That was enough. In those days, Ebenezer, you were another man.
I was a boy, witless and naive.
You see, your own feeling tells you that you are not what you were. I am. How often and how painfully I've thought of that, I won't say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, an altered spirit, in anything that made my love of any worth and value in your sight. If there were no contract, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise, if I could. It's a hard truth, but it is the truth. If you were free today, could I ever believe you choose a girl without a dowry? You who by your own admittance weigh everything by gain or loss. Or suppose you did choose such a girl. I know that repentance and regret would surely follow. I have nothing to give you, Ebenezer. Nothing of what you value. I release you. I do so with a heart full of love for the man you once were. You may feel a little pain, but only for a brief time. And then you'll dismiss the memory gladly. An unprofitable dream. And you'll be happy that you awoke.
Don't do this, Belle.
There's no other way. Goodbye, Ebenezer. May you be happy in the life that you have chosen.
Spirit, this is too much. Conduct me home. No more. No more!
Ebenezer Scrooge, command you to open the door. Well, sir, good evening. It's time you made my acquaintance.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Oh, do not cower so, my good man. Lift up your eyes. Look upon me. Never seen the likes of me before, eh?
Yes, that's true.
And never walked forth with any other members of my family, meaning, for I am very young, my elder brothers were born in recent years.
No, Phantom. Ma'am, I don't believe I have. Have you had many brothers?
More than 1,800.
Quite a family. Think of the cost.
You know why I am here.
I do, Spirit. I went forth an hour ago on compulsion and learned a lesson which is working now. Please, if you have anything to teach, let me profit by it.
We shall begin with this.
What is this?
It's the blessing of Christmas. Now, touch my robe and we shall go.
Where?
Onward to Christmas morning.
Although the sky was gloomy, each street choked up with a dingy mist laden with atoms of black soot. The people were jovial and full of glee. All the shops were open. They displayed great round baskets of chestnuts and Spanish onions, fat as fryers. There were pears and apples and blooming pyramids, bunches of grapes, piles of filberts. From the grocers arose the blended scents of tea and coffee, and raisins, and the almonds so white, the sticks of cinnamon so long and straight, the candied fruits so laden with sugar as to make the hungry onlooker grow faint. There were figs and French plums and poultry for sale in the poultry shops, and a brisk trade in all of them. But soon the steeples called all good people to chapel and to church, and then on to the celebrations of the day. Oh, tidings of comfort.
comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Fred, let's have a game.
Capital idea, Chopper. What shall it be?
Well, how about our favorite? Yes and no?
Yes, fantastic.
Have we time before the meal, Sarah?
Oh, ample time, husband.
Then permit me to be it, for I have a very suitable subject in mind. I am thinking of something that is neither vegetable nor mineral, but animal.
It's the big fat goose Sarah's cooking. I know it.
No, I'm afraid it's not. The animal in question has absolutely nothing to do with this blessed holiday.
Here, Chopper, no clues. Yes and no, that's all.
Oh, sorry.
Is it a live animal?
Yes.
Is it in this room?
Oh, no.
Is it savage?
Yes.
Is it in a menagerie?
No.
I say it's rather intriguing.
Is this animal ever killed in a market?
No.
But it is a disagreeable animal.
Oh, yes.
Does it grunt and growl sometimes?
Yes.
Does it live in London?
Yes.
Oh, I know!
Does it walk about the streets?
Yes.
Is it a performing bear?
It's a bear.
No.
Is it led around by someone?
No.
Then it definitely can't be a bear.
Hopper, is it a horse?
Nope.
A dog?
Nope.
A pig?
Nope.
A cat?
Nope.
But it walks around London. And it's very disagreeable.
Does it talk?
Yes.
I have found it out, Topper. I know what it is.
What?
It's your Uncle Scrooge! But Topper, you misled us. I distinctly recall asking you, is it a bear? To which you replied no, which is sufficient to avert all thoughts for Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, I did have some doubt about that answer, my dear.
But he said the animal had nothing to do with Christmas, and that's true enough, isn't it? Your uncle never joins these festivities, does he?
Alas, no. He says Christmas is a humbug. He believes it too.
He's a pitiful creature.
I suppose that's true, missus, but in some ways, he's a comical old fellow. Though Topper is right, he does growl and snap too much. Never mind, his offenses carry their own punishment.
Very rich, isn't he, your uncle?
Yes, but what of it? His wealth is of no earthly use. He doesn't do any good with it. He certainly doesn't make himself comfortable with it. I can't be angry with him. I feel sorry for him. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. He takes it to his head to dislike us and won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He loses dinner.
A very good dinner.
I was about to say that, my love.
I have no patience with him. I see no reason to invite him again. Ever.
Oh, no. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but maybe he'll think a little better of it if he finds me coming to his office in a good temper year after year and saying, Uncle Scrooge, how are you? How am I? I am not in the Christmas spirit. Humbug! Humbug! I shook him yesterday. I could tell. I shall definitely continue. If it only puts him in the mood to give his poor clerk £50 someday, that's something. Meantime, he has given us plenty of merriment this evening, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health in good mulled wine. So I give you, Uncle Scrooge, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to him, wherever he may be. He wouldn't have it from me, but he shall have it nonetheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge!
Pack of fools, giggling and shouting like children.
They were festive. I rather had the impression you were enjoying it.
Never! Lead on!
And where to next? A coal miner's hut, deck of a ship on the stormy Atlantic, a beggar's hovel. At each place in their own way, each receives this day's blessing.
My clerk.
What?
My clerk, Bob Cratchit. He's an intelligent, sober fellow. He lives in 4 cramped and tiny rooms in Camden Town. I would see Bob Cratchit's Christmas.
Done.
What has happened to your precious father? And your brother, Tiny Tim? And your sister Martha? She wasn't half so late last Christmas Day.
Here's Martha, Mother.
Hurrah, Martha. You've never seen such a goose as we have today.
Bless your heart, my dear. You're so late. I feared you couldn't come at all.
We had a deal of work to finish up at the millinery shop last night, Mama.
and more to clear away this morning, but they let me have the rest of the day. They're fine folk.
Yes, indeed. Sit before the fire and get warm.
No, there's Father coming.
Hide, Martha, hide.
This old nag's got a long trek from work. Let him rest.
Why? Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day? Crushing! What are we to do?
Oh, Papa, here I am.
You spoiled it. You came out too soon.
I can't help it. I don't like to see Papa disappointed.
And I don't like to see you gentlemen trooping here with all that grime from London town on you. Wash your faces, my dears. Peek at that luscious goose while at it, Bob. Martha, dust the hot plates and sweeten the applesauce, if you please. Belinda, stir the gravy and check on the pudding. Peter, finish mashing the potatoes at the stove. Vigorously, vigorously.
My dear, the aroma of that goose, together with its tempting exterior and its size in relation to its cheapness, is sufficient to excite the admiration of the world.
Did you examine the pudding too?
Oh, the pudding, yes. An excellent pudding. And if I may say so, madame, I would recommend that pudding as the greatest success achieved by yourself since your marriage.
What a weight off my mind. I've been so busy, I forgot to ask you, Bob, how was the service?
It was excellent. A splendid sermon, and the choir never sounded more glorious.
And how did Tiny Tim behave in church?
As good as gold. No, better. He sits by himself so much, sometimes his thoughts are very deep and grown up. Coming home from church, he told me he hoped all the people saw him there.
Why, Papa?
He said it was because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant for people to remember on Christmas Day who it was to make lame men walk and blind men see. Tim, my boy, here's your place. Oh, the gin and lemons is steeped just right. Only a thimbleful for each of you. Oh, and this for you, my boy. Now gather around, my dears. Before we seat ourselves to dine, I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
Oh, no. The founder of our feast, is it? I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Yes, indeed, Christmas Day. Only on Christmas Day could one even think of toasting to health to such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know how he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you. Scrimping along on 15 bob a week. Just a pitiful 15 copies of your Christian name every Saturday.
Nevertheless, my dear, Christmas Day.
All right. I'll drink to his health for your sake, but not his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Children, what's wrong?
Need you ask? You mentioned the name of the ogre whose very existence casts a pall on this house.
Really, I don't feel so badly about Mr. Scrooge, but I shall respect your opinions. Children, let's raise a toast to a more pleasing company. A very Merry Christmas to us all. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
They have nothing, and they are happy. How can it be?
On this day, all things can be.
What of the little boy, Tiny Tim?
Crippled in a most cruel way, as you see.
What will befall him? Will he live?
I see a vacant stool there in the chimney corner. I see a crutch carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unchanged by the future, the child will die.
No. You're a kindly spirit. Say he will be spared.
These shadows remain unaltered. None other of my race will find him here. If he is to die, let him. We'll decrease the surplus population.
The surplus? Oh.
We must go.
Why such a hurry?
My time upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Upon the final stroke of midnight. That time is almost upon us. When I'm gone, you'll meet the third and final spirit. This one you'll find less pleasant and kindly than its predecessors.
I don't want to meet a spirit like that.
You have no choice.
Spirit, forgive me this question, but do I not spy something strange, not belonging to yourself, just there? Is it a foot or a claw?
Oh, it might be a claw for all the flesh there is upon it. Look closer. Do not turn away. Command you to look!
Why, on closer inspection, I see they are fine, young, charming. No, that is a lie. They are not fine. Their eyes are empty of hope and laughter. They're poor, pale, stunted, and starving. Spirit, are these children yours?
They are mankind's.
Have you no blessing for them?
Not enough. This world, there is never enough. Once a year, they cling to me, seeking refuge from those who created them.
And the remainder of the year, whose responsibility are they?
I told you, they are man's.
Dear God, they are so wretched. Have they no help, no refuge at all?
You know the answer.
I do not.
You do. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Of course there are. You support them. Take them. Minister to their needs. Just keep them out of sight, where gentle folk don't have to look at them.
Spirit, don't leave me here! I'm frightened! Spirit!
The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. And when it came near, Scrooge bent down upon his knee, for its mysterious presence filled him with a solemn sense of dread.
Spectre, am I now in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? But what does that mean? Never mind, I know. You are about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen in the time to come. Is that not so? Say something, I beg you! I fear you more than either of the specters before you. No. No, I must not be frightened. I know your purpose is to do me good. I am learning a great many things. And as I know your purpose is to do me good, I'm prepared to bear your company, yes, and do it with a thankful heart. Only speak to me! Very well, then. The night is waning fast. It's precious short now. Lead on!
Which way? Down there. Down there? There ain't enough room for a rat to run down there.
Can't help it. That's the way to old Joe's. I'm sure you'll get through with all your natural greed to prod you. So will we all.
Here, roll up them bed curtains better, Miss Dilbert. The rings make too much noise. What if one of the Bobby Peel's coppers was to happen by?
And you what?
Arrest us just for printing a couple goods from the verbs and percentage of the deceased? Shut your face and go home if you're scared. The previous owner of these goods is dead and gone, and there's nobody in this dirty, miserable world that cares one jot.
Although Scrooge expressed a certain curiosity about the remarks and destination of these unsavory persons, the Spirit insisted on leading him onward to a better section, to the steps of the commercial exchange at the very heart of the city.
How are you?
How are you?
Well, old Scratch has got his out last hay.
So I hear. Rather cold, isn't it?
Seasonable for Christmas time. Good morning.
Good morning.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know that he's dead.
When did it happen?
Last night, I believe.
I'm astounded. He was hard and mean. I thought he'd never die. What was the cause?
Who knows?
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his firm, perhaps? He certainly has not left it to me. It's sure to be a cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know of anybody who would go.
Shall we make up a party and go ourselves?
I don't mind going if food is provided, but I must be fed.
Well, I am the least interested, for I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I'll go if anyone else does.
But only if there's food.
Oh, of course. Why else would anyone go? Scrooge and the Spirit left the busy scene behind them and went on to an obscure part of town. There, the ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half-naked, drunken, ugly. The alleys, ways, and tenements, like so many cesspools, disgorged their offenses of odor and dirt and life upon the straggling streets. Deep in this quarter of crime and filth and misery, there was a shop where iron and old rags and bones and bottles were sold.
Well, 'tis my favorite laundress. Got something for old Joe, have ye?
Plenty.
Hi, me, the charwoman, and the undertaker's woman. The vultures gather. How do they gather? Eh, Miss Dilber?
Well, there's no need to be so high and mighty, Joe. Everyone has a right to look after himself. He always did.
True, very true.
You brung me stolen goods, then? I don't like stolen goods.
Come on, Joe. Who's the worse for a loss of a few cheap things? But a dead man, I suppose. And no one's the wiser. There wasn't a soul with him when he croaked, and we only came in after them to tidy up the place, and need to tidy up himself.
If he'd wanted some things around after he died, why didn't he act like it when he was alive? If he'd been natural, somebody would have been with him when he was struck with death. Yet he gasped out his last all alone.
By himself.
It's the truest words that ever was spoke.
It's a judgment on him.
So, let's do business.
Open me bundle, Joe. Let me know the value of it.
No, the smallest first. Looks like you. What have you got?
I was busier than they were. All I got was a seal or two, the pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons, and that brooch.
Of no great value. That's your payment.
Be serious, Joe.
That and not another 6 pence, even if you boil me in oil. There's risk here. They're stolen goods. You next, miss.
Well, some of us did what we were supposed to and got took advantage of. Now, here's a fine set of old boots. And, best of all, set of teaspoons, solid silver.
I always give too much to ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and the way I ruin myself. That's your account.
But
ask me for another penny, and I will repent of being so liberal. I'll knock off half a crown. You next, Miss Dilber. What do you call these? Bed curtains?
Bed curtains? The finest.
You mean to say that you took them down bed curtains, all with him lying there?
I do. Why not?
You were born to make a fortune, Miss Dilber.
Well, I surely won't hold my hand back when I can get something by reaching out with it, especially on the likes of him. Don't get dirt on them blankets.
His blankets?
Whose else do you think? He's unlikely to take hold of that, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
You may look at that shirt till your eyes ache, but you won't find no holes nor a threadbare place. So the finest he had, pure silk. She'd have wasted it hadn't it been for me.
What do you call wasting it?
Putting it on him to be buried in.
Took it off and put on one made of calico. If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, what good is it for? Actually, the deceased looked quite handsome in calico. I mean, he couldn't look any uglier than he did when he was alive.
Dear God.
This is the end of it, then. I give you the dear departed. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive, but he drew us to him with his death. The dear departed. The dear departed.
I am beginning to see now, Spirit. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way. But those are greedy people, greedy and wicked. Is there no real and honest emotion caused by this man's death?
Oh, husband, you were gone so long. What news? Is it good or bad?
My dear, it's both.
Are we ruined then?
Not quite, Caroline. There is hope.
There is, if he relents. But has that miracle happened?
No, and he's past relenting. He's dead. Day before yesterday, when I went to go obtain a week's delay of the payment we owe, his clerk said that he was not only very ill, but dying at that very moment. I thought it a mere excuse to avoid me. It was true after all.
Then to whom will our debts be transferred?
I don't know, but before then, we will be ready with the money. And even if we weren't, there is no creditor that could be half as merciless as he was. We may sleep with light hearts tonight, Caroline. We are lucky he's dead.
That is not the kind of emotion I mean, Spirit. Let me see some tenderness connected with the death.
Mother, the close work hurts my eyes. That's all.
It's not the sewing, is it, Spirit? It's the empty place by the fire.
There. Are my eyes red?
No, Mother.
Good. I wouldn't want them that way for when your father comes home. Not for the world. It must be nearly time.
Past it, rather. But he walks a little slower than he used to.
I have known him to walk with Tim upon his shoulder and go very fast indeed.
So have I, often.
So have we all, Mother.
But he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. He's home. Welcome home, my dear. Your tea is ready, piping hot.
Good evening, sir.
Peter? Oh, this is very fine work.
It will be ready for my customer on Friday.
That means we can buy flowers for Sunday, sir.
Yes, we must take flowers by all means.
Did you go there today, Robert?
Yes, my dear. On the way home. Oh, I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done you good to see how green the place is, even in winter. But you'll see it often. I promised him I would go there on a Sunday. My child. My little child. No, I must not do that. I must remember the good things. The good times. You know who I saw when I was coming home from the office? Scrooge's nephew, Fred. I'd only met him a few times, all of those at the office. But he stopped me and greeted me cordially. He said I looked a little down. I explained the reason, and he said, "I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit, and heartily sorry for your good wife and family." Oh, he is a pleasant-spoken young gentleman, young Fred. He asked about each of you children, your names, your situations, and he gave me this, his card. "If I may be of service to you," he said, "this is where I live. Pray come to me and don't hesitate." Oh, it was extraordinary. Not for anything he might do for us, because of his kind way. It seemed he really had known our Tiny Tim and felt our loss.
He must be a good soul.
Oh, you would be sure of it if you spoke to him. And I think I might call on him too, to see if we might get Peter a better work situation.
You hear that, Peter?
And if that happens, Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself.
Get along with you.
Just as likely as not. But whenever and wherever we part from each other, we must never forget poor Tim, the first parting in our family.
Never, Papa.
And when we recollect about how kind and gentle he was, although he was a little child, we must not quarrel easily among ourselves, and in doing so, forget poor Tim.
No, never.
I am happy. Here, with all of you, I am happy.
Spectre, something informs me that our moment of parting approaches. Therefore, I must know, are the shadows we have seen shadows of things that will be, or are they only shadows of things that may be? Did I change them with a changed life? I must have the answer. If I am to correct my life, I must know. And one more. I fear I already know it. Who was the dead man those three vultures derided, even as they stole from him? Spirit, I beg you, the name! Ebenezer Scrooge. I am the man. The one they plundered because it made no difference. The one who was mocked on the steps of the exchange. No, Spirit, no. Hear me, hear me. I am not the man I once was. I will not be the man I would have been except for these visitations. There must be hope of it. Why else would you show me this? I will change. I'll honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year long. The spirits of Christmas past, present, and future will all live and strive within me. Just tell me that it's possible. Tell me so that I can sponge the writing from that stone. Tell me. I will honor Christmas in my heart. The three spirits will live and strive within me. I will sponge the writing from that stone. The stone. Where's the stone? This is my bedpost. My bed. My room. I'm alive. I'm alive. It's okay. There are no chains. It's all right. And those shadows can be dispelled. Oh, yes, they will be. Jacob Marley, heaven in Christmas time be praised. I say it on my knees, old Jacob. On my knees. I don't know what to do. I am merry as a schoolboy. I'm happy as an angel. I'm giddy as a drunken man. I feel like laughing aloud.
Really, for a man who had been out of practice for so long, it was a splendid laugh, a most illustrious laugh, the father of a long, 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 long line of brilliant laughs.
But I don't know what day it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm like a baby. Never mind. I'd rather be a baby. Whoa! Hello! Hello down there! Blue sky, bracing air, golden sunlight. Merry bells. Oh, glorious, glorious. You there, boy. What day is today?
What's that, Governor?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day? I haven't missed it. The spirits did it all in one night. Of course they have. They can do anything. Just a moment, just a moment.
Hello? Yes?
Do you know the poultry shop on one corner but another?
I sure hope I do. I live round here.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether or not they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging there? Not the little one, the big one.
What? The one that's as big as me?
A delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, that one.
It's hanging there this minute.
Is it? Go and buy it.
Oh, come on, Gov. Don't pull my leg.
No, I'm in earnest. Go and buy it and tell them to bring it here, that I may give them directions about where to take it. Come back in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with the man and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. He shan't know who sent it.
He got dressed and prepared himself to go out into the streets. Shaving was not an easy task, for his hands continued to shake very much. And shaving requires attention, even if you don't dance while you're at it. But if he had cut the end of his nose off, he would have put a piece of sticking plaster over it and been quite satisfied. He went downstairs to open the street door for the poultry shop man, and as he did so, the door knocker caught his eye.
I scarcely ever looked at this door before. What an honest expression it has. It's a wonderful door. I shall love it as long as I live. Marley! Jacob Marley! Is this yours? Are you free now? I hope you are. Perhaps even where you have gone, Jacob, deeds of kindness are rewarded. Oh, is that a turkey? Never could have stood upon his legs, that bird. He'd have snapped him off short in a minute. Oh, here is the address for delivery. Why, you can't carry that all the way to Camden Town. You must have a cab. Fetch one, my boy, fetch one. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. Oh, ma'am. Merry Christmas. Now, my young friends, you must be kind. It's Christmas. Buy a sweet. Merry Christmas, ma'am. Young Mr. Buckworthy, see me tomorrow.
Sir, you know I can't.
Of course you can. See me tomorrow for an extension, as long as you need. You must not rob a penny from that new offspring. Scrooge and Marley's will survive a good long time without your money. Merry Christmas. Oh, my good sir, just a moment. And a very Merry Christmas to you. A Merry Christmas to you and yours, officer.
Yes, sir, and the same to you. No more humbug, it's a blinking miracle.
Oh, ma'am, how do you do? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Yes, that is my name. And I feel it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to humbly ask your apology. I hope you succeeded in your fundraising yesterday. It was very kind and generous of you. Now, if you have the goodness to honor a request.
Lord bless me, my dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please, and not one farthing less. You will do me the honor of accepting?
Why, of course. I don't know what to say to such generosity.
Oh, please, don't say anything. Come and see me. You will come and see me?
I will, most assuredly. Here's my card.
Thank you. Oh, I thank you 50 times. Bless your heart. Merry Christmas.
He went to church and walked about the streets. He watched people and patted children on the head. He questioned beggars and looked into the kitchens of houses and up to the windows and found everything that could yield him pleasure. He had never dreamt that any walk, that anything could bring him so much happiness. And in the afternoon, his steps turned to a house he had not been to in many years.
Never mind, I'll find the way. Nephew!
Uncle?
Smelling salts.
Bless my soul, is it really you?
It is I, your Uncle Scrooge.
I am astonished to see you.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Merry Christmas, Fred! Merry Christmas, Sarah, my dear!
Did you just say Merry
Christmas? Today is that blessed day, is it not?
Smelling salts? What brings you here, Uncle?
Oh, that is why. You did tender an invitation to dinner. Have you dined yet?
Not yet.
Then may I join you? Will you let me in?
Let you in? Of course we'll let you in. A Merry Christmas, Uncle. The merriest of Christmases. Let me take your coat. Make yourself at home. Can you stay an hour or two?
I can stay all night. I have nothing to do but revel in the joy of Christmas and the companionship of family. I am completely at liberty until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And what are you going to do then?
Catch Mr. Bob Cratchit coming in late. A quarter past. Minutes late. What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day?
I'm sorry, sir. Yesterday was an extraordinary day. First of all was the usual Christmas hubbub and excitement. On top of that, there was this immense turkey. I know I'm late.
You are. Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please.
It shan't be repeated, I promise. I admit, I was making myself very merry yesterday. But on top of that, there was this turkey.
Mr. Cratchit, I cannot stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary.
Yes, sir, of course, sir. I understand the punishment. Raise my salary.
A Merry Christmas, Bob! A merrier Christmas than I have given you for many a year. I shall raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. We shall discuss everything this afternoon over a Christmas toddy.
But what about the work?
Hang the work. First, I want you to buy coal for your office. Oh, and more logs, too. Before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. He became as good a master, as good a man, as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became as a second father. Some people laughed to see the alteration in Ebenezer Scrooge, but he let them laugh and did not heed them, for his own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He had no further dealings with spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. Let that be truly said of us, of all of us. And, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.